Hey everybody, it's Hawker. I'm here in my lab today to introduce you the accumulation of our latest work. It's the APH Purple Phase, all through your brain. A phaser has been our most requested product after we finished the delay, and I've been waiting until I had a good idea of what this product should be. We didn't want to just do another Me Too product or another copycat or expand on something I had done before, so we decided to wait until we had a good idea. While I may be known for modulation effects and delay effects, I've also had my hands in a few phasers. For those that don't know, I was involved in a certain large 12-stage wood-sided phaser, and I did the redesign for that. And I also worked with the legendary Tom Oberheim on a PS1 for modular synthesizers. It actually never came to fruition, but that was something we worked on. And we really wanted to do something special here. Of course, those are two different technologies, and that's where we started. So we really had to start with what do we need to bring. We didn't want to do the same thing over again, and we had to think about what features, what price point, and it really took a long time, a lot of revisions of figuring out what to make this an approachable product that was usable, that was small, but would still honor some of the legacies and some of the great phasers out there. That's where we started on this product, about 3 years ago actually. So one of the first concerns we had was how could we get this all in a little box? For those that know the large big box phaser, there's a lot of parts in there and it's packed. And we didn't know how to get this in a box and how to get the features and yet keep it in a price that we thought would fit with our customers and our products. And so we really looked at a lot of different technologies. We looked at the classic OTA technology, we looked at ladder technology, we looked at technologies like transistor strings, or matched JFETs, excuse me, that are in the PS1 and some of the classics. And we just really came to the conclusion that we had no idea where to start after all that. And so the very first thing that we did was we spun a development board. And this is a great little board. We put a classic 12-stage phaser and every knob and switch and everything we could possibly think of on this. When we did this, we thought we would look at digital control perhaps, and we were looking at things like parallel processing and Shepherd's filters and barber poles and all kinds of fancy digital stuff. And the conclusion we had was that there were some really great undiscovered sounds in this that really didn't need all that. And we went back to a lot more simple design. We still weren't sure when we designed this. This is still a lot, and we didn't think we could fit this in this box. And so the next thing we really had to do is figure out, we had to completely redesign our analog or topology for this, and we had to figure out how to get this in the box and still make it price competitive. We explored making this a larger box, we explored multiple circuit boards, and at the end of the day, we designed a product that was going to be that. It was going to be multiple circuit boards with the classic OTA technology that I was known for. And at the end of the day, we scrapped that, quite frankly. So that design never saw the light of day. In the end, we found a brand new chip designed by the legendary Dave Rossum, and it was designed for a different kind of filter, but we realized that we could adapt it for this. We looked at some other processors. We looked at multiple OTA chips for those that are geeky by other brands. We looked at condensed chips. We looked at all kinds of ways, and we ended up with this Dave Rossum chip. And so then we spun the first circuit board, and that was this board right here. You can see lots of wires on it. And this was our first attempt. So this was actually, what, the third board we did, because we had this development board, which we never do, and got the ideas. We came to this, and this was our prototype first board, and guess what? It didn't work. It was really a disappointing failure. And that spun us to a whole nother level. And this was our second development board, and we just focused on the filters on this board. And by this board, we thought we had it working, but we had so many parts glued on, so many wires, and we really couldn't get what we wanted. And so from there, we made a big risk and leap of faith, and this was the next board we spun. And what you'll notice is there's no magic blue wires on here. So this was the first one we got, and it worked, and our testers loved it, but there were just a lot of things that weren't right. And we worked and worked and worked on this for a while. I had to put it aside for a while because I was getting nowhere. And then Asheville experienced the greatest flooding in 100 years. And this got put aside for 3 months. Well, those of you who watched my videos saw that we worked with Grassroots Aid Partnership and other groups doing hurricane relief, and hence the Helene or High Water, we called it. And that was our first big diversion, but it gave us time to sit with this. It gave time for people to explore and tell me what they liked, what they didn't like. After a lot of getting nowhere, We made a few changes, we spun it again, and on the, what was that, the 5th try or something like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, and one that wasn't shown, so 6th try, we finally got it. And even then, I was tweaking until they hit me over the head with a dead fish or whatever that. This product went on for 3 years, and we've just never done a development cycle that long. It took a long time to get it right, and I'm really excited to present this to you as the Purple Phase.